Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you. Before I need it. Future me will want that. Please be seated. Because you all know me, I do not think about things ahead of time. I married somebody whose job that is. I just kind of show up. I'm like, I hope this works. Ooh, we have a big day today, y'all. I know. This is the ultimate celebration because today is all about ministry and God calling us. And and God calls us at every single part in our life. And I think that's what's really, really beautiful today, because today we are celebrating our newest saint. Hi, Ivy. And we are celebrating one of the saints who has been with this church since the very, very beginning. Hi, Deacon Sherry. I know, she moves on me. Y'all do that. I know, like most churches, you kind of know where people are. Not here. I never know where you all are. I'm like, somewhere. So I think this is a powerful day to really reflect on the fact that we think ministry might look one way, and really God calls us in our very place, in our time and our place. And I'm not saying that God doesn't ever send people out, to go do big things somewhere else. But really, the world is changed by us doing ministry in our own place. And it's not always some big, extravagant thing. It's usually a day-to-day commitment. Like every morning you commit to this same life of loving everybody. And I think that's almost harder. I'll be honest, it was super easy for me to do ministry in Hawaii. Super easy. I literally went there for 6 weeks. I showed up with my suitcase, and the church was lovely because they're very used to having very different clergy all the time. And so I show up, I do my thing, and I go to the beach, and I do my thing. And every once in a while, if you're really, really lucky, I would do some writing, but that didn't get done quite as much as it probably should have. I spent more time at the beach than I did writing. But that's okay. That's okay. But really, was that really truly ministry in the way that God calls me to ministry? Not really. Because really, my ministry is in my every single day. When I wake up and I deal with my family every single day, and they deal with me every single day. When I get up and I go to work, and I love people sometimes that are hard to love. And every single Sunday when you guys show up and you love me, even though sometimes it's hard for us to love each other because we're together all the time. Would you believe that is really what ministry is? It's in our every day, in our every moment, because that's how the world changes. So when Jesus goes, because he's at the very beginning of his ministry. I don't know if you've noticed that, but we've been kind of following him as he begins ministry, right? And he starts to go out and collect his followers. Does he make some huge proclamation and call the angels down from heaven? Because they're probably more equipped. They've got thousands of eyes and lots of wings and stuff. Yeah, did you know biblical, scriptural angels are super scary? Yeah, no, they're so much cuter. Yeah, they are. They're terrifying. But it's fine because thank God the artists recommissioned them. Yeah, I know. You got to start with don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. I can see you. Anyway, yeah. No, Jesus goes out to where people are, where they're working in their everyday lives. And he speaks to them in their language. He says, hey, you're fishers, right? I mean, you're not. I'm not. Maybe some of you are. I know there's some fishers here. It ain't me. I ain't the fisher. I'm a school counselor / priest. Like, I don't like slimy things generally. It's fine. And Jesus says, hey, in your language, I am going to make you fish for people. Come on, we're going to go do this thing. What if God shows up in our life, in our language, in the way that we speak, in our context, in our place, and says, hey, I'm going to make you a mom of lots of people. I'm going to make you a teacher of lots of people. I'm going to make you a dad of lots of people. I'm going to make you whatever it is where your context is. And God says to you, hey, you, I'm going to call you. And sometimes that looks like really, really gummy smiles that are amazing and addictive. Has Ivy ever smiled at you and you not smiled back? No, absolutely not. Has Sherry ever proclaimed the gospel and you didn't hear it? Absolutely not. When we are in our place, doing the thing that we are called to do, loving the people that we are called to love in a way that we are called to do it, you can't miss God in that. And so I know it's easier to feel like out there in those really wild and different places. That's where God is calling things to happen. But really, not really. It's around your kitchen table. It's at work. It's at the grocery store. It's in your everyday. We are called in those moments. So, God shows up and says, hey, we're going to do a thing. So, hey, we're going to do a thing. And I told you future me would be glad I did that, because look at that. I got my lines all laid out.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
All right, so how this works is we're going to call up our family to be baptized. But then also, if kids want to be closer so that you can see, you absolutely may do so. Also, the entire congregation asks to be godparents for Ivy. So, if you are committed to helping raise Ivy in the family of God, when we go through the vows, I ask you to join in, okay? We have a few of our little friends who have a whole parish as godparents, because can we be real? You can't do this Christian life without a team. So we do it as a team here. All right, the candidate for holy baptism will now be